Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Race starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Despite being half the length of Daytona 24 and Le Mans 24, Sebring has a fearsome reputation as one of the toughest sports car racing events on the calendar. Tonight, the Midwest Motorsports GT4 Series is ready to tackle 100 minutes. That's right, an endurance race, and we are in full rain conditions tonight. Track should dry out as the race goes on. We have 27 participants ready to sign up and put their rain jackets on, their rain racing suits. Chase Fincher and Shay McNeely are on the front row. Welcome back, Shay. Jason Phillips, Michael Odell, row 2. Walker McNulty, Jason Wahlberg, row 3. John Daniels, Jack Lucas, row 4. Justin Thaler, Travis Rowe, top 10 starters. DJ Barzak, Justin Glickner, Robert Snar, Steve Hansel round out the top 14 pros. Zach Alexander is the first AM on the grid. Pablo Araya starts beside him. David Stark, Kevin Bridges, Rick Bundren, Justin Shoup. You see the list all the way down. Kevin Mayer, Andrew Miller, Francis Faustino with some last-minute PC modifications is updates, able to join us. Taylor Montague and Nick Calguru will start from the pit lane after a Road Atlanta Lap 1 incident last time. We're going to go green for 100 minutes and 2 pit stops. I'm James J., joined by Adam Sondag. Adam, it's raining. You bring your rain jacket?
I did. I got rained on a commute home today. It's balmy 70 or so degrees here in Chicago, so I had a hot one. I imagine it feels pretty similar to what it's feeling like down there. Humidity is high. This track is wet, and it looks like we're going to have some rain for a little bit longer.
Added to the realism, I guess. Man, that's kind of cool how life imitates simulation, imitates life. Chase Fincher on the pole. Keep an eye out for him. He's fast in the wet, but do not count out Jay McNeely, Michael Odell, or Jason Phillips. And a good qualifying for Walker McNulty, even though he said he didn't like Sebring too much. Top 5 starting spot for him would be great. John Daniels, never know what you're going to get with John Daniels. Probably some speed and some racing moves, not afraid to stick his nose in. The M division is pretty tight as well.
Yeah, we've got the potential to see some amount of tire strategy here. This is expected to quit raining shortly here in the session. So full rain now, track is wet, but we will see the rain stop. So we may see somebody opt to get off those tires, those wet tires. Somebody may have opted not to go for them. So we'll see here what everybody's chosen to do as far as their tires here.
Very good point. When the rain stops might dictate your pit stop. The pit window will open at 40 minutes, I think, is as long as somebody could run. Again, depending on the rain, we might see alternate strategies as they come around the final bend, the bumps, the concrete, and the rain now. Another element added to the complicated Sebring Raceway. And Chase Fincher is going to bring us to the green out of the final turn, 17, and we're green. Michael Odell going inside Shay McNeely into turn 1. And it's only headlights and rain spray that we see. And that is John Daniels all the way up on the inside now, attacking up to P3. I told you he was not afraid to stick his nose in. Let's see if he holds on to the 3rd position. And he does. Jay McNeely, Jason Phillips in the all-orange car. You can't miss him. I think that was a paint change with intention. For Jason Phillips is CJ Barzak, Steve Hansel, Justin Thaler. Oh, that's not Justin. Justin Glickner with the red wheels in the Porsche. Michael Odell hitting it on the brakes hard, holding on to it as full wet conditions. Adam has thrown up the tires on the sticker there on the left on the tower. Obviously, everybody on the full wet right now. That could change and let us know who goes to the dry tires and when they switch. But a great start for John Daniels all the way up to third. Let's see if he can hold it. It looks like
Great call out.
Go ahead.
Great call out on changing the livery there, changing the car color up. I do think that there's some advantage of going with the what is that, the Fast and Furious Supra green with some Toyota, or not Toyota, Tennessee Volunteers on the back. But it's hard to see cars that are white and blue and gray and black in this spray, so never hurts to be visible. It's better not to get hit.
No doubt about it. I'd call that maybe Hunter Safety Orange.
Not quite papaya.
Yeah.
Legally distinct papaya.
That's right. I think he had a black and yellow, black car, mostly black with yellow stripes on the big ass fans. Paint. You can see he's going offline so he can see in the spray. As we got Robert Snar around in the 99, he may have gotten help. He may have tried to carry some speed into that final bend, or second to last bend.
Like David Stark was also off there, so we'll have to take a look what happened there once we get through this lap. Because it looks like Michael Odell found his way around John Daniels.
Shea
McNeely.
Yep.
Michael Odell was already up there.
All good. That was good for Shea as he coming out of the final corner, turn 17, Sunset Bend. And that is when they're putting the power down. Shea McNeely took advantage on the exit. Like he even beats him around to the start-finish line in front. So move Shea back up. That was an important pass to get. Make sure that you don't lose contact with Michael Odell and Chase Fincher. Great battles back here with Walker McNulty, Travis Rowe, Jason Wahlberg. Jason Wahlberg in the Mercedes, looking left, looking right on Walker McNulty. Going back and forth, and he rear ends it. Walker in the McLaren. I did see two moves there. Walker went defense first, and then he went back out on a second move. And I think Taylor was trying to avoid. He was happy to take the outside line, the normal racing line. Walker pulled back on the racing line, and as he did, they crisscrossed. Here it is again. Jason Wahlberg in the Mercedes behind the multicolor McLaren ahead of Walker. There he is on the defensive braking line. Wahlberg, Walker's just right in the middle of the track, nowhere for him to go. And Travis, I'm sorry, that's Justin Thaler. It's a little piece of Walker. Travis Rowe is going to be the benefactor of that scenario. It was lap 2, so this is going to be deemed a racing incident as long as the track is not blocked. Remember, it's so hard to brake under conditions like this. Easy to get your braking zone, braking points off just a little bit. Walker definitely showing pace in that McLaren.
It's like the 59 of David Stark is already being shown black flag, so he'll have to get that fixed before race control puts him back out.
Jason Wahlberg gives up on Walker McNulty, gives the spot back. Maybe he might feel a little bit of blame, so he self-marshals there. That's a sportsmanship move there by Jason Wahlberg. You got to respect that.
Yeah, never hurts to do. I don't understand why more people don't do it. We've seen it in a number of times here recently in F1. If you take it out of the marshal's hands, you have a chance to make things happen. So it's just sportsmanship, though.
Justin Taylor's, what about me? I was innocent too, remember? Here's that lap. Earlier incident. Snarn. Oh,
Just
wait for it.
catches David Stark at the end of it there.
That Steve Hansel in the Porsche with the red stripe. All good. Definitely not intentional. Just one of those things. Visibility has got to be hard. I'm sure we'll get some cockpit view in the future, but man, it's really tight racing. Super difficult in conditions like this. You got to give it to him just for even being out here in the first place. Wipers going full blast. As the speed increases, you can see nothing but spray. Hard to know where the track goes if you don't really know. You definitely can't see two cars ahead, much less barely know where the corner is to know when they brake. Just a car in front of you becomes visible at the last second.
Well, I think we're going to see a couple of things here. This track is known for how bumpy and unruly it is. So this is already a tough track to maintain your line and braking. Acceleration, you see there, a couple oversteers for both guys with some corrections here as Justin Gleckner loses speed there getting out of the turn. But I think the other thing you'll see is just given that there are all of those bumps and things is you'll see a lot of this standing water here might stay around for a little longer. So we'll have to see how that plays out because that'll be on the inside of some of those turns.
These drivers have sure been tested so far this race. As we were riding along with Walker McNulty, and now they're too wide with Steve Hansel and Justin Thaler. Again, Walker McNulty looked like he was Steve McQueen in there turning right to go left. Justin Thaler giving a little speed bump to Steve Hansel. Hops out of the spray to get his sights set on the lane. There's the safety car that we don't want to see. But anything's possible. All the rain, easy to miss corners, as that David Stark back there in the BMW as well. Chase Fincher putting down some great laps. Yes, it was.
Yeah, he's broke off for about a 4-second lead now over Michael Odell, who we know is a good racer in the rain here. So really nice laps from Chase. I have to imagine he put some time in this week on the track. Chase mentioned that he feels like being in the league has made him faster, which is easy to believe in some ways and hard to believe in others because he's been so consistent the past month or more.
Definitely disciplined, participates in a lot of the team or the practice sessions that everybody sets up. I mean, I think I saw as many as 8 different sessions for the league, for Sebring in the rain and the dry. So lots of coaching going on between the drivers in the league. Just another benefit of being in this Midwest Motorsports League, and definitely Chase taking advantage of that and taking it all to head and applying it as he continues to extend the lead on Michael Odell. I see the puddles you speak of, Adam, and it's very clear that they're going to be the last parts of the track to dry out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's luckily we have a brand PSU and GPU in our streaming PCs, so we get a lot better detail now than we did in some earlier rain races where it was very hard for our old rig to handle that. So now you can really see, as Justin Thaler has some trouble there. His brother Eric got installed the new components there, so thanks to Eric for that. Looking great now.
You can see the reflection of the raindrops as it washes over the windshield, over the paint on the visor decal there. So awesome. We were able to turn the graphics up quite a bit. I echo those thoughts to the whole Midwest Motorsports team. Steve Hansel gets a big run out there. David Stark going back through the pits again. A little bit of blinking from Steve Hansel. Maybe some rain getting in the electronics on the dashboard. Jason Wahlberg has caught back up to Justin Glickner. As Justin Thaler and Steve Hansel continue to try to fight, but Walker McNulty is dropped back now behind Steve Hansel. So Walker must have had another off. Justin Thaler looking on the inside, on the outside, into the hairpin on Jason Wahlberg. 3 Porsches and a Mercedes here. Great battles in the rain. Aaron Mitchell looks like he's in the pits getting some repair work done for a long time, as we're continuing to watch Justin Thaler getting sideways, putting the power down. Even with traction control, it doesn't help that much in the rain. Takes a special skill. Adam, how much rain experience do you have, and what is there a key? Are you in a position to give any advice to these GT4 drivers, Adam? Maybe not. All good, Adam. I got you. Little technical difficulties for Adam. Thankfully, still working the cameras as we watch Pablo Araya in the gold BMW coming around the final corner, right on the line against the wall and into the pits. Coming to get some repairs. Like with the 4-way battle, Jason Wahlberg has dropped to the back of this 4-way battle, but the fight is not over yet. Steve Hansel now with a little bit of space between he and the 2 Porsches ahead. And you can see the clouds are starting to give way to the blue sky, but only just barely, as Francis Faustino has caught up with Zach Alexander. Francis Faustino up 11 spots from his qualifying. Did not get much pre-race practice tonight. So not the best qualifying effort for Francis, but he is up 11 spots from his starting position and making ground on Zach Alexander again.
Yeah, we're coming up here at the end of the rain. The next 15 or so minutes in the in-game weather generation. So we will see the rain clear out here, but not sure how long it will take for the track to clear out or who will be the first to bite on taking some slick tires. Jason Phillips making his way through John Daniels and Travis Rowe.
Yeah, looks like Shea McNeely has gone the wrong way. Shea McNeely out. I'm seeing. in the pits. Lap 5. All good. What happened to Shea? He must have bailed. As we have a new leader, Michael Odell. Looks like the rain is starting to let up just a little bit. Not by much, as Michael Odell has taken over the lead from Chase Fincher. Oh, there it was. The replays are watered out. Okay, that is...
Yeah, it looks like he had a spin there.
Could be like turn 10, I believe. After that section, double-handed left, then a right. Oh, right about
Yeah,
here.
that'll be frustrating for him, but he's only 2 seconds or so back, and he was up by about 4 seconds, so he should have the pace here. But again, this race changed the dynamic here very quickly, and a lot of time left, given this is an endurance race.
Absolutely. If Chase needed a reason to hunker down and sort for some lap time, that'll do it. That'll motivate you. Zach Alexander giving way to Francis. Thank you, Zach. The current AM division leader, number 93, Zach Alexander. I got to admit, that paint looks pretty awesome on that Porsche. I like it, Zach. Whoa, as he puts the power down, gets a little sideways. Hang on to it, Zach. Nice job. Six-second lead over Kevin Bridges.
Jason Phillips still here in the middle of John Daniels and Travis Rowe.
Jason Phillips is biding his time on John Daniels, waiting for a clean spot or maybe waiting for the track to dry out. Travis Rowe is not, he's hanging in there with these guys. Maybe not off that corner, but Jason Phillips looking racy. Maybe looking for a way around John Daniels as the patience run out for Jason Phillips in the orange cars. Travis Rowe comes in deep. Inside, looking inside of Jason Phillips. Jason Phillips thankfully sees him. Great shot here from the drone. As that definitely is going to let Jason Phillips know that we could be going faster. The pace needs to be picked up if Jason Phillips is going to stay behind John Daniels much longer. Otherwise, he and Travis Rowe are going to get by. Looks like the intense rain has slowed down now. Wipers are still on everybody's car. Clouds starting to
We got some
dissipate, at
clear
least
skies here.
Yeah, buddy. Got to make everybody feel happy. Chase Fincher has made up any ground that he lost in that spin. Catching him is one thing, but passing him is another.
Absolutely. Yeah, classic Florida rainstorm here. Quick in, quick out. You can see the different lines there that Michael Odell and Chase Fincher are taking. Chase potentially looking to get out of the spray. Wouldn't think at this point he would need to go offline to try to keep the tires wet, keep them from overheating.
Still a lot of water on the track. way too much for dries. If Navarro is any example, but you can still see everybody getting really sideways under braking, trying to hold on at a brake bias thing in the weather as well, in the water puddles. Michael Odell hanging on to it in the braking. Chase Fincher braking in a straight line, then turning, leaving plenty of room for Michael Odell, trying to keep it straight.
About 83-degree air temp and track temp here. So we should see if that track temp starts to climb up once the water starts to come out of it.
I did look up some average annual weather averages for Bartow Municipal, which is about 37 miles from Sebring, it says. The wettest month is June. The annual precipitation is 33.5 inches per year. I think we got about 10 of those inches just in the last 25 minutes. Jason Phillips trying to figure out how to get around John Daniels and back Robert Snar and Nicholas Calguru. This is for position, although not in class, but every point will make a difference. Nick gets out of the way, lets him go. Maybe he can learn something from following Robert through.
Yeah, Robert making his way back from an incident, and Nick from a start in pit lane. So both of them on their way climbing back up, but Calguru has made his way up into third in the AM division here.
Credit where credit's due. Nick Calguru from a pit lane start to third in class. Pretty amazing. Driving through the field, showing that he's fast. See if he can finish it off. We still have 15 minutes more than a full race. As Travis Rose got around Jason Phillips. John Daniels pulled away a little bit, but Travis Rowe in front of Jason Phillips now. We'll see if Travis can get around John Daniels. John Daniels gets sideways, putting on the ground. There they are into turn one. Travis Rowe around the outside. Jason
It
Phillips.
gets a little tight out there.
What a move.
Going from 1 into 2 being on the right.
Side by side for 3 corners in the wet at Sebring. Travis Rowe getting sideways up on the curving as they exit down, headed towards the hairpin. Jason Phillips leaving plenty of room. Travis Rowe leaving plenty of room around 5 and 6. Now into turn 7. Travis Rowe finally completes the pass. You were too wide from before the start finish line all the way to turn 7.
Nice clean driving there from both guys. Able to set up a couple twitches back and forth there. A little bit of drifting Akina pass there, going sideways in the rain, both of the cars, but using enough room, not a super wide track, so going through those turns side by side clean in the rain is pretty nice. They probably should be happy about that. I would expect in the post-game chat for Jason or Travis to come in and say, hey, that was fun.
It's fun for us to watch. Oh, speaking of fun, Chase Fincher has caught all the way back up to Michael Odell now. Michael Odell in the BMW takes the wet line, the outside lane, and Chase Fincher strong on the acceleration on the exit. Michael Odell is still taking that 1 car width off of the apex, the wet racing line. See if Chase pops out and makes a move. Michael Odell going defense.
Chase Fincher just putting down his fastest lap of the session. Almost 5/10 faster than Michael Odell's time. Our two leaders are the only drivers to make it below the 2 minute and 27 mark thus far. So these guys are really laying down some pace.
No question about that. Third place, 11 seconds behind. These two are also the leaders in the overall points by about 55 points. Chase Fincher and Michael Odell. Oh, I read that wrong. Still really close. We have some drop races to come as well. Here's a replay.
Trouble for Justin Shoup.
What happened to Justin? Oh, Sunset Bend. The bumps, the wet. Too much speed, and he swaps ends. Oh, there's contact behind.
It?
All black Mercedes.
Looks like Taylor Montague.
Maybe Taylor. Yeah. Minus a rear bumper now. Here's Taylor. Wide open, flat out. This is the inside wall just barely. I'll give it getting on the power. Maybe a distraction by Justin Shoup ahead, but takes the wide line. Minus a bumper. I'd say stay out, stay out.
Yeah, I don't think he could see Justin. My first thought was that he may have seen that incident and reacted and put some inputs into the wheel that, made that car loose. But it looks like he may have just had his own spin there. So that'll happen. That is a difficult turn. It's very bumpy, as you said. It's long, it's sweeping, it's awkward, it's wet.
It's Sebring, baby. And Chase Fincher, the on-power traction out of that McLaren, clearly different between these two cars. Chase still doesn't want to force the issue. Michael Odell driving a very wide car. Chase showing pure discipline to not force a move here and take them both out. Chase has already spun it once. He doesn't want to do it again. But that McLaren on power gets the drive off the corners.
Yeah, the rear end seems to really hook up. Looks like the BMW of Michael Odell's been getting a little bit twitchy here in the last couple laps.
Chase Fincher to the inside. This is for the race lead. Into the final couple corners before the last straight. Nice digger cam. Side by side, down the Ullman Straight, call it. Chase Fincher and the McLaren. Michael Odell goes deeper in the brakes. Chase Fincher in the power earlier pushes out wide. Michael Odell with the inside shorter distance. Can Chase Fincher get a run into turn one? He's gaining, but not enough. Michael Odell brings it around for another lap. 30 minutes down. It's still a full, normal race weekend. Race to go for these GT4 drivers. Over an hour and 9 minutes left. Michael Odell using some curbing. Robert Snard, Justin Thaler for position, 15th and 16th. Justin Thaler, I saw as pitted already. So Justin Thaler with tires. Gonna be good until the track dries out. Maybe he's done his math. come in and get full fuel, and now just drive, wait for the cycles to go through. I'd say that's like a 30-minute undercut.
Yeah, might work here. Take the track a while to clear out. The lap time, you think the lap time is going to wash out the amount of time it takes to get the tire swapped. Go for it. So we'll see how that works for him. I believe the other stops have been for repairs and pit lane starts.
The battle for third continues. John Daniels in the black Aston Martin. Travis Rowe in the purple, green, and white BMW. Jason Phillips in the orange Mercedes. Battle has gone since lap 1. Very respectful driving. These guys driving as hard as they can. No contact. Track continues to get drier and drier little by little.
And almost start to see the racing lines showing there as those dry up. Still a little spray coming off the cars, but
Oh,
the sun is out.
234s for our leaders that lap. There's the drying track conditions. And Travis Rowe put enough pressure on John Daniels.
It looks like there was an incident here between these two.
Oh, Chase going in deep. Michael Odell is already there. They spin. These are the leaders fighting it out. Chase Fincher lets him go.
Yeah, he'll be frustrated with that one.
Yep.
He'll be frustrated with that one. But yeah, didn't see another way that these two could have put down a time that's that much slower than the laps they were doing. So they still have a pretty decent buffer, but I'm sure they'll be okay. I don't think there's going to be any fist fights after the race.
No. This is definitely not NASCAR. Side by side still, these guys are going to be smiling, but they just gave up almost half of their 11-second lead. Like I say, I think Michael Odell taking a very different racing line, like I say, almost a rain line, maybe trying to preserve his tires to go the full fuel run. Maybe even trying to conserve fuel to go longer. You can see the difference in the racing lines. And it's paying off for Chase Fincher. Is finally inside for the lead. Michael Odell went wider on the exit, so he's going to have a little longer straightaway here. But the legs of the McLaren once again show off. This McLaren of Chase Fincher is able to hold on to the lead into the final corner, 17. Three-way battle. This is for third. So the top 5 all within a few seconds of each other. Don Daniels is holding off Travis Rowe and Jason Phillips for now. Jason Phillips
Jason's
way around.
trying to make his move here. He's got 2 cars blocking him.
Jason Phillips, I think, is being a real gentleman. He's let Travis had his go. John Daniels couldn't get around him. Now Jason's ready for another chance. He's got to get around Travis Rowe to get that chance. We'll see.
Looks like the end of the day for Andrew Miller, unfortunately.
Bummer. Andrew come back next week.
Yeah, this is a tough track to stay wheels down on the cement, even without the added rain. But you can see the standing water here start to show up as the surface dries out. So I would imagine somebody's going to start feeling frisky, and it looks like Walker McNulty might be the first one, and Robert Snart following suit. So Walker going to the dries already, and I would assume that Robert Snart will do the same.
Yes, he is. 40 minutes. That's the longest you can usually go on a tank of fuel. So that means the leaders may be in the next lap or two. Chase Fincher misses. I believe that's turn 10 again. And Michael Odell gets back by. He's going to have to work again to get by one more time. The race for third, still trying to catch up. John Daniels, Travis Rowe, Jason Phillips. Travis Rowe, is he going to pop out the inside and go deep on the brakes? Inside he goes. On to the start-finish straight. That is a slide job if I've ever seen one. Travis leaves plenty of room for the Aston Martin. Is the Aston Martin going to have the racing line into turn one? He is. Jason Phillips is going to try to figure out how to get a 2-for-1 sale out of this. They go into turn one. Jason Phillips goes wide. John Daniels doing a great job. Travis Rowe leaves room for John, but completes the pass. And now Jason Phillips, if ever there's a time to go, you got to go as our leaders are in the pits. Thanks, Adam. Great job. Jason Phillips gets around John Daniels now. See if they can pull away. In drying conditions on empty fuel. Fuel light has got to be on all of these cars. Our leaders are in. So this currently is effectively the race for the lead. Hard braking for the hairpin, and Travis Rowe is our current leader. Waiting for pit stop cycles to happen. Jason Phillips looks outside, now inside. Can he make a move? Not this lap.
We have a few more takers of the dry tire here, so it looks like the Justin Gleckner, Zach Alexander, Kevin Bridges, and Walker McNulty are now on the slick, but that's it. The leaders at last.
All right, we'll start keeping an eye on lap times for those guys on the dry tires. But our leaders did not take dries. They stay on the wets.
Yeah, I do think there's a big advantage in this series to trying to hold onto your tires as long as possible. So that's the slowest part of your change, likely. So those guys may be thinking that they can get a full hour in on those tires and then switch to the dries once they get their final fuel off. So I would assume that's what they're going to try to do. So we'll have to see what happens.
Right out that last 40 minutes. I like what you're thinking there, Adam.
As this group pulls into the pit.
Out of gas. Let's see who comes out ahead. But that means Steve Hansel. He's going to come in for fuel as he's in. Jack Lucas as well. Jason Wahlberg is going to get the lead back to Michael Odell and Chase Fincher.
Was hoping to see Steve taking over. Flying lap there. Take the overcut on those guys, but
get points for leading a lap. Nope, not this time. Here they are.
See where these guys come out in relation to the second pack.
Jason Phillips and Travis Rowe, there they go, still in the pits. I'm telling you, I do like Justin Thaler's pit strategy. He's the only one that came in at that 20-minute mark, so he's going to go 20, 40,
This
40.
group is opting for the dries.
He did.
So our first three,
Okay.
including Justin Thaler, now on the wet still with a pack of dry tires behind him.
On the alternate strategies, Justin Thaler's going to have the best of both worlds here.
So I believe the top 10 has all pitted already. Different approaches, though.
Walker McNulty has not made a second lap around after his pit stop. We'll see what his lap time is and then compare it to Travis Rowe, Jason Phillips, and John Daniels. And they come around for their outlap. There's Walker. 233.
Yeah, looks like
Justin
he had some
Taylor's-
trouble here on the dry tires.
Oh! Track too wet. That's not bad. A 4-second loss there. He could clean that up.
Yeah, we've seen, we saw him in Canada that Michael O'Dell taking the early run on slicks had issues keeping those slick tires with being in the rain still, but the time and the speed difference once the track dried out was well worth it and made up for those times lost. So Walker's going to be extra careful here, putting the power down and braking.
Race leaders around sunset one more time. This will give us an idea of the wet weather tires in current conditions. Michael O'Dell leading Chase Fincher.
They're still running 225s.
Purple lap, that lap for Chase Fincher. The wet weather seems to be the tire of choice right now. Justin Thaler knows. Side by side for the lead again. Turn 3, 4, and 5 here. Chase Fincher gets around Michael O'Dell. These guys, it's the third or fourth time they've swapped leads back and forth. Smiling from ear to ear. Late break. Late break hero. Michael O'Dell goes much deeper on the brakes this time than he did. They made contact earlier before the pit stop. Chase Fincher run him down. Ran him down and caught him. Passed him. Came into the pits. Left the pits out and he's out again. That is his nemesis. That's turn 10. Brake bias, maybe. Just maybe drying conditions. He's moving his braking point. The distraction of Michael O'Dell in the back. Maybe Chase can just follow there. Definitely faster than third place.
We are starting to see some fast times come in for that are on the dry, but 224 for Francis Faustino, 226 for Robert Snar. We did see Justin Thaler lay down a 225, which was his fastest, a pretty good lap. I mean, that's the same pace that our lead two are taking. You see a little bit of flip there as Chase puts the power down on the strips, which that paint will not be very forgiving when it's wet. So getting into an interesting point here. I think we're at the crossover point where the dry and the water starts to push.
Great call, Adam. Walker McNulty with the purple lap. Fastest lap of the race on dry tires. So it could be time for a dry weather tire if you can be smart about it. Walker McNulty being pretty smart right now. Gonna have to drive through the field. He's on the preferred tire. Still has one more stop to make before the race is over.
Yeah, as I said, he probably will have enough speed with the dry tire here, being on it early enough that he can make some time as Travis lays down a 22.115. So we're seeing those times start to pick up. So we'll have to see if the lead pack wants to make a change or if they'll just continue to ride that out and they think they're ready to pick.
The track is drying out. The weather has passed. I don't think it's coming back according to the radar that I saw. Under the current conditions before the race, don't think there's any more rain. Justin Thaler looking back on Travis Rowe. Travis Rowe wants the spot from Justin. Justin Thaler on wets, Travis Rowe on dries. And Travis
Yeah,
Rowe is
somehow Travis has separated himself from John Daniels and Jason Phillips. So that trio has gotten tired of each other, apparently. Zach Alexander with a 22.21.
Ham driver Zach Alexander with, whoops, fast lap. Good on you, Zach. Purple lap. It's Taylor Montague again. Oh,
Just too much of the curb there in the wet. And then at the same time, I believe something happened to, something happened to Justin Shoup there about the same time in an earlier in the turns.
oh, he got some help. Oh, he was rejoining and trying to find power. Oh no, poor Nick. Is that Nick Guru? There's Shoup. Riding in the Mercedes with Shoup. Very difficult conditions here. Makes it, it's not as easy as you might think. It looks easy. On the outside, rejoining across the puddles, gets it into the Armco, coming across the grass. No harm there. Putting it on the grass again, the other side, into the asphalt, into a puddle, and then it spins out right in front. Not sure if that's Calguru or was
I
it
believe that it was. But yeah, unfortunate there for him. He probably did not expect that car to be there. Yeah, it's difficult. I think that, it seems like it should be really easy to transfer from the grass to the asphalt, but even without the wet, they're different. They're very different surfaces. So, you might be spinning your tires on the grass and then it hooks up in the or the actual asphalt and shoots you off. So probably just trying to get back on the track there pretty quick for Justin Shoup, and then those tires broke loose, and then he was in after that rejoin just in a bad spot there for Nick Calguru. So unfortunate, but that happens. Always watch your rejoins, check your peripherals, see what your relative is. There's always a car coming, especially when we have these big 26 car fields.
John Daniels has got around Justin Thaler here. Jason Phillips will be next. It's his fourth position. Different tires here. Justin Thaler on wet weather tires. John Daniels got around him on the dries. Jason Phillips now looking for a way around. Justin Thaler has to make it to the 40-minute mark, or he's going to need a splash at the end. So the drying track, and Justin Thaler still doing 223s. Actually, his last lap was his best lap. So a drying track with wets. It's his race scenario for now.
Yeah, Jason Phillips, 2:18.5 essentially for now the fast lap of the race. So a good 2 or 3 seconds faster than the leaders on their wet tires. So that may allow them enough time to make it here to the 40-minute mark where they're within the window that fuel can get them over the line. I would expect that they have some good pace here, so I don't think it'd be Very hard for them to. Oh, that's a 2:16 now for Travis Rowe. So
4 seconds faster than these guys. So when you come in, you got to make it to the 40-minute mark. They're going to go with
absolutely.
You take the wets all the way to 40, or do you pit now and come in for a splash? You're losing 5 seconds a lap.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Travis Rowe is gaining tenths on them very quickly, and with a 2-minute lap here, we're not. I mean, there are a couple laps here before they get to this final window where they can get in on fuel. So it's hard to say. I do think that Travis Rowe might get to them before they pit, but I would also expect that regardless of where they end up within that pit cycle, the pace that these two drivers will have on those dry tires should be at or in advance of the times that we've seen put down by everybody else. So we'll have to see what they're able to average. They might be able to make up some time there by being fast on the dries themselves.
At 2.5
and maybe push those
minutes a lap,
tires a little higher.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes a lap. These guys have 3 laps left. Travis Rowe is gaining 5 seconds a lap on them, and there's 3 laps to go. That's 15 seconds. Chase Fincher's giving up. He sees the lap times Travis Rowe's going. He's going to leave Michael O'Dell out to dry. 5 seconds a lap. Chase Fincher's going to need a splash after this. Travis Rowe takes the lead now. John Daniels, second over behind Michael O'Dell, but Chase Fincher's going to have to come through the field. He's going to have to be fast in the dry weather tires on a dry track. Do not go anywhere. If you're watching, this race is far from over. Anything can happen, and it will. Travis Rowe, this could be his day. Don't count out Chase Fincher. He's going to have to drive through the pack, stop for a splash at the end, or do some mega fuel saving at a track that has a lot of long straightaways and flat out sections. As we're riding with John Daniels, has to avoid the puddles. He follows the first car on dry tires. Windshield wipers are off. Clear sky up ahead, above. And Travis Rowe can see Michael O'Dell. Chase Fincher brings Urkel back out onto the track.
Yeah, he mixes back in 9th place there, so he's got about a minute to make up to Michael O'Dell, but Michael O'Dell will need to pit at some point. So we assume Travis Rowe will take over the lead here fairly soon.
And Travis still has a stop as well. Keep an eye on Chase Fincher's lap times. He's your pole sitter today. So we know he can do some fast laps, but are they fast enough to catch Travis Rowe? We will find out. John Daniels has caught him.
Only about a second up the road now is Michael O'Dell from Travis Rowe, but Travis Rowe has problems of his own. And John Daniels?
Michael O'Dell has to come in. He does. New leader, Travis Rowe. John Daniels takes over P2. Jason Phillips takes over P3. Justin Thaler's going to take 4th. On the wets. Justin Thaler's got to stop. You go 44 minutes. I'd stay out. Justin, you made your bed. I agree with you on this call. If you can do the same thing and undercut them when they have to come in for their splash at the end.
Justin about 8 more laps than everybody else since his last pit.
Jack Lucas goes by on dry tires. Nice move, Jack. Good on you, mate. Jack Lucas has had some great runs this season so far, and good to see him competing today. And currently, P4. Best finish was Barber. I'm sorry, it was Road Atlanta last week. P3, Jack Lucas. 5th at Nürburgring. Missed a couple of races as well, so he's already got his drop races in. We'll see where he plays out. Travis Rowe, your leader, with pressure from behind from John Daniels. These guys have one more stop to make. John Daniels, fast lap of the race, 2:13.3 to a 2:13.5 for Travis. Inside, John Daniels, round Sunset Bend, gonna slide job. Great view from Travis Rowe's bumper. As he loses the lead, John Daniels is your leader. Could John Daniels win the race today? Yes, he could. I think these guys did enough laps at 3 or 4 seconds in the dry tires. I think they did enough laps to stay ahead of Chase and Michael when they come in for their final stop. They're going to need a splash, I believe, unless they do some crazy numbers on their fuel. A lot of lift and coast.
I'm not sure what happened here with Chase Fincher. It looks like he went back into the pits again, so I don't know if he may have not grabbed the tire he meant to grab or what happened there. He's back into 15th now. He was in 9th, so was expecting him to start climbing back up the ladder, but something may have gone wrong in his pit stop.
38-second stop for his most recent stop. Well, that was lap 19. Oh, no, 22. Yeah. Wow. Well, race not playing out how Chase wanted it to. Sorry we don't have any pit lane audio tonight. We'll have to wait to read about it in the Road Series chat. We'll see he has a mega drive. Jason Phillips, 1.3 seconds back from Travis Rowe, 1.1 second back from John Daniels, your current leader. Shout out to Jack Lucas and Justin Glickner, also in the top 5. Justin Thaler should be able to pit right about now and make it for his final stop. We'll see where he comes out. Should be in the top 7 or 8. Kevin Bridges looking up at CJ Barzak. CJ Barzak still on the wets, as you can tell from the tower. Kevin Bridges and the McLaren on the dries. As the window is open for making it to the end, if you've been hanging on, you can finally come in now.
You can see there's still some moisture there as Kevin just found out going off into the pebbles and wet offline. CJ Barzak.
He goes wide to let Kevin Bridges go and maybe get a run. Lengthen up this final straightaway. The way to let a guy pass. Even if you're not for class, you recognize the guy's faster. Let him go. CJ can come in this lap and make it to the end. Well, as Justin, if they decide that they want to take the drives. But Travis Rowe, Travis is happy that they changed to the M4 BMW. He likes it. Second place behind John Daniels.
Looks like Taylor Montague with a meatball there, so he will need to get some repairs. Jason Phillips will catch some air off the curb.
Again, taking that super wide entry into turn 16. Not enough momentum to catch up and go door to door with Travis Rowe. Again, Jason Phillips kicks up the spray, taking the alternate line. This is the closest race on the track, the battle for second. Travis Rowe has it. Jason Phillips wants it. Phillips still rocking the windshield wipers as he catches spray from Travis Rowe. These guys are on dry weather tires for sure.
Justin Thaler coming in to take his pit, get some dry tires, and fill up for the rest of the race. CJ Barzak already back out with his slick tires on, so not sure if he just went wide there when he was letting Kevin Bridges pass, or if he had melted up those wet weather tires there running in the dry. But either way, he's on the slicks now, and I expect him to start making some time back up. He's got 18 minutes up the road to Robert Snar, so that'll be a little bit of work.
Jason Phillips wants to go. He has caught
the
back
lap
up.
times now
Yeah.
dipping all the way down into 2:12 for Jason Phillips.
Here he is showing why he's faster. Nice slipstream. See if he can complete the pass and carry it all the way turn one. We know these guys have raced door to door for 8 turns. Went up on Justin Shoup. Okay, Jason Phillips is through with the fast lap of the race still. See if they can get by Justin Shoup and then go start to run down John Daniels, or can John Daniels hang on to it? Thank you, Justin. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, seeing the times laid down here with the dries as the track comes back into heat. It's hard to say whether or not the overrun on the wet tires for Michael O'Dell and Chase Fincher was a great idea, because now we're seeing that these guys are almost 15 seconds faster and really about 20 seconds faster than what they were doing on the wets. So, that's a significant piece of time that, they were cutting time off there on those wet tires, still being slow. So the pace really is picked up here.
To win one of these Midwest Motorsports Series GT4 races, you really have to click all the buttons. All the surprises have to go your way. All the interaction between you and the cars around you, every lap car interaction makes a difference in the overall. And look at this, John Daniels now leading the race. Get your chalky milk ready.
Track temp all the way up to 116 Fahrenheit now. It was about 83 in the rain, so huge changes here in the track surface over this hour and 40-minute race.
The former Army training base and airport, one of America's longest racing venues, longest serving racing venues, hosted its first race in 1950. Bumpy to the extreme. Drivers have lost teeth here going over the bumps. Central Florida, the heat now showing its teeth. Plenty of challenges here, even though the IMSA race is only half as long as Le Mans and Sebring. A true test, as well as our endurance race this segment of the season. You've seen crashes, we've seen braking zones, we've seen missed corners, we've seen rear end fender benders with the lead, and we still have 32 minutes to go. John Daniels.
Now, but Michael Odell has just put down a 2-minute 11.9. So he's almost a second faster than what we saw Jason Phillips lay down. So Michael Odell's coming.
54 seconds back. And he needs a splash. I think these guys also need a splash. Or have another stop. The top three, I believe, have another stop. Time will tell. They did go on dries early. And that has given them a 54-second lead over Michael Odell. Jason Phillips takes back that purple lap. Could this be Jason Phillips' day to reclaim his championship from last season? Jason Phillips, trophy to his name.
Coming up on lap 29 here. Been about 13 laps since this lead pack has stopped. Kevin Britt is hunting Nicholas Calguru, who's made it up to 10th after starting in the pit lane today.
His last stop was also at lap 16. So he's got one more stop. Over the bumps, Jason Phillips dropped bottoming out.
A lot of drivers still might need to take a stop here.
We know Justin Thaler's good to go. We know CJ Barzak is good to the end. I think that's about it.
Looks like the end of the day for Steve Hansel,
Oh, no.
unfortunately. That's 6 cars now out of 26 cars that started that have been claimed by Sebring. So it's an endurance race. We do expect some attrition there, especially with the wet. So it's a tough break for those guys, but not to be unexpected. And it looks like Pablo Araya might be, or is he out? No, he is out. He's
Oh,
down a couple laps. So he may have had some repairs there.
7 minutes, 25 seconds worth of repairs.
Walker McNulty coming in for his final splash.
The race for the lead is heating up. Some moisture on the track. You can see flashes occasionally.
I'm sure there's some moisture on the foreheads of our drivers here as they've been locked in battles for well over an hour. Doesn't seem like it would be rigorous to sit in your basement or living room and drive, but it is. It's quite tiring and can be very hot even in the winter. So looks like John Daniels will take his last pit. Jason Phillips takes over the lead.
Now's the time, Jason, if you're going to go. Give us the purple lap here. You have the current purple lap, 2:11.7, as the track continues to get faster and faster and evolve. Travis Rose dropped back about 3.5 seconds behind your current leader, Jason Phillips. Could this be Jason Phillips' day? He tied his best race this season last week at Road Atlanta. Road America, he also got second. Other than that, an 11th to 6th to 8th, a 6th to 6th, and a drop at 15th at Barber. So Jason Phillips needs a good run tonight. John Daniels on his way out. We'll see where he slides in.
It's like Rick Lundgren also went for it.
Yep. John Daniels still comes out in front of Michael O'Dell. And I believe Michael O'Dell's going to need a splash unless he's been doing some fuel saving. Justin Glickner here in 4th. Good run if he can hold this off. Jason Wahlberg not going to give it to him. Good run for Justin Glickner here. He's long overdue for a good run as well.
Michael O'Dell, I would think, should be okay. His last pitting on the 22nd lap. But he may need a short splash at the end. Again, if you try to take your final stop much later in the race, you have less fuel to take on board. So that can be an advantage.
Sure. Currently P4. We're watching Justin Glickner. His best finish was 5th at Navarro, the very first race of the season. Jason Wahlberg on the hunt. 87 AMG Mercedes looking up at Justin Glickner. But I believe these guys are going to have to stop one more time. John Daniels, Jason Phillips stayed out. Jason Phillips going for a 2-lap over. And like you said, Adam, need less fuel. That might be significant.
Kevin Bridges coming in for his final stop. And a pretty solid day for Kevin.
For sure. Who's going to win tonight? Let us know. Chase Fincher still working hard on coming through the field. He goes by Justin Thaler. That's 4th position. Inside the top 10. Remember, a couple of guys still have to pit. I'm wondering if Chase took tires at one stop and then came back the next time and took fuel. Missed his box the first time and had to drive around and stop a second time. Not sure.
He may have had the wrong compound selected when he took that pit stop and had to come back around to get back off the wets onto a fresh set of wet tires. So we'll have to see after this race what would actually happen there, but he came right in after that lap.
I guess, like you said, Adam, maybe, I know he only changed front tires at Road Atlanta. Maybe he only had his button box set, the fronts only. He had wet rears and dry fronts. Maybe. Either way, he's going to have to work if he's going to improve. Quite a few ahead of him have one more stop to go. Justin Thaler does not. So if Thaler can hang on with Chase here, he'll finish even with your points leader. So that would be a good race, a good day for Justin. Long overdue for a good run. Jason Phillips and Travis Rowe are in for their final stop. Jack Lucas as well. And let's see where John Daniels comes out. I think Jason Wahlberg needs a pit. His last was 16, and he's in. As far as they could go with 20 minutes left. 40, 40, 20 for these guys. John Daniels has made it up to 3rd. Where's Jason and Travis? Here they are. They are in front of John Daniels. There he is, 2-lap overcut. John Daniels taking that extra fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, we'll see how they're able to bring those tires in. John Daniels' tires should be in the window here. But with the amount of time left, 20 minutes here, Travis Rowe and Jason Phillips won't be worrying about burning up the tires they just put on.
Let him eat. And there's Michael Odell. He's on the hunt. Does he need a splash? I think he does. Maybe not.
He last pitted lap 22.
Close. I think our
Jason
guys
Phillips about halfway through 33.
Yeah. And Chase Fincher with the second roll through in ninth from the lead. Those few seconds he had spinning out, going late on the brakes. DJ Barzak now looking at for a wait around Kevin Bridges into turn one. And he gets him. Once again, every position matters. Whether you're in their class or not, CJ Barzak moves up a spot. Jason Phillips has pulled out 7-second lead over Travis Rowe, who was not broken away from John Daniels.
Yeah, pretty strong there from Jason Phillips. Coming out for an outlap and only being about 0.3 in sector 1, slower than 0.2 really than he was in his best lap. So pretty incredible there how fast he was able to get on those fresh tires, assuming he took them.
Walker McNulty getting around Zach Alexander finally. Oh, John Daniels on the rear bumper of Travis Rowe. He pops out into Sunset Bend. Bumps are on the inside. Travis, stay off of him.
John got a nice exit there, allowed the car to run wide, but had to check up just a little bit to make sure he made that turn. Still 15 minutes to try to find a move.
These two guys fight it out 8 seconds behind your leader. Justin Shoup, not again. Oh, onto the curbing.
That's the second time we've seen something similar to that. Just the curbs there are pretty harsh, as you can get on and off them on both sides. So you almost high side on it, really, or high center, I mean. But the front left of that car is definitely damaged. That'll be a very clear meet.
Yeah.
Confirmed by race control.
And these two catch Jason Phillips. 8.9 seconds, almost 9 seconds away. Francis Faustino and CJ Barzak once again. Side by side. Francis on the curbing, just barely uses it as a berm to run off of and gets a run down the long back stretch towards the hairpin coming right into your living room. CJ Barzak wants that spot back or wants to intimidate Francis. Francis having none of it. Through turn 10 they go. That's what half a second looks like. So is this with Walker McNulty and Zach Alexander. Zach Alexander is your current AM division leader, holding down P12 overall. Into the final turn one more time. We are 1 minute 28, 1 hour 28 minutes in, 11 minutes to go.
It's a long time to be locked in here. Close quarters, make sure you make all the turns. Again, the fatigue of the driving in the rain, being extra careful with your steering wheel inputs and throttle and brake control. So really tiring race here for these guys after you assume almost all of them worked a full day as well. So locked in here for the last 10 minutes or so. But you know they're tired.
Work. What's work? All day today I was at work dreaming about racing tonight. I'm glad we're here. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Some of the best racing we've seen in this GT4 division. 9 seconds now the lead for Jason Phillips over this battle for second with John Daniels and Travis Rowe.
Yeah, Jason Phillips has really opened it up there. He's well down the road from the other two in podium positions. CJ Barsak makes his way around Francis.
Nicholas
These two have been
Calgary.
trading positions for the past couple laps.
Sorry, Adam, they have been. Good friends off the road. Just noticing just in front of these guys is Nick Calguru, who started from the pit lane and now only has Walker McNulty in between he and Zach Alexander.
Not for long.
Yep, Walker's got around. There's Nick in the background. What a result that would be for Nick Calguru.
He's got about 9 minutes to make up 8.5 seconds here.
This is exactly what he wants. Walker McNulty holding up Zach. If that's the case, now I know Walker just passed. That McLaren's got some legs. Zach,
Guru's last lap was about 0.3 faster than Alexander's.
yeah. He needs a second a lap, so he's going to have to really work to get that. Here's the battle for second. Harry's on. Michael Odell needs a splash. I'm expecting about 4 to 5 seconds worth of fuel here.
See the team of Justin Shupin there working on that car, getting that put back together. Might be the end of the day for that team, but they'll see what they can do. Got a handful of battles coming into the picture here as the final 10 minutes comes together, as is tradition in sports car racing.
Yes. Robert Snar, Kevin Bridges in the white and red McLaren. Robert Snar. And I believe it's like a forged carbon blue paint. AMG. Mercedes. Can he do it? Not this lap. He's getting a good run. Mercedes over the bumps. Versus McLaren.
You can see the McLaren there takes those bumps a little more rough. Still some work as Robert Snar just about outdrove his tires, but was able to gather it back in. Kevin Bridges here running really nice third in the AM division. As you can see Jason Phillips there and behind him. This battle likely goes all the way down to the wire.
Travis Rowe trying to figure out some strategy with about 6-7 minutes to go. 3-4 more laps at the most.
Jason's about halfway through his lap here, lap 39, coming up on lap 40, so it'll be pretty close. I would expect maybe 2 more laps here. Looks like Chase Fincher also is coming into pit. So, as mentioned earlier, I mean, we saw Michael Odell and Chase Fincher really were checked out on the entire field in the rain. Had an incident into the hairpin where Chase Fincher broke too late and lost grip there in the wet and spun him around. They were able to gather it back in. They both went about 6 laps longer on the wet tires than everyone else. Lost some time, got caught back up by the field on the dry tires as those came in. Now they're both fighting for top 10. Michael Odell here with the chance to pass Jason Wahlberg to get into 5th. Chase Fincher here will come out of the pits in 11th, so he'll be trying to make it back into the top 10 after he also had another incident with potentially taking the wrong tires on a pit stop and having to go back in. So tough turn for those two. Getting on the dry tires early was the right move. Michael Odell still working on trying to get into fifth there. They'll have the inside into turn one.
Nice move. Can he hold it? Slide him. Yes. Michael Odell.
From the inside of turn one, it is difficult to try to keep the outside car from taking that kink away. Can be a tough setup there. We've seen many times the inside car is backed out and let the outside car go. So a couple laps left to try to get back for Jason Wahlberg. He's not going to give up with maybe 2 laps left to go.
Jason Phillips has put in the work. From last week to tonight, putting up multiple hosted sessions and iRacing, letting anybody join in. No secret. That is a Tennessee logo on the rear bumper there. Sorry, Adam. Good catch from earlier.
Yeah, Jason, a Tennessee man.
Right.
Evansville still has some plans to get around John Daniels. His last lap was just slightly slower than John's.
We might be on the last lap. I'm not sure if Barney's throwing the white yet. For Jason. It was close.
We do have one to go, but see
if he gets to 41.50 with minute 5 to go. Currently at a minute 30, so he's coming to the white this time. It'll be close. He's got to have about 5 or 10 seconds to the good. He gets to do a lap. Good on Rick Bundren to finish this race out. I saw him in the pits earlier. Wait,
looks like Justin Shoup also made his way back out after some good work by that team. A little bit of speed tape on there.
Yes. Take that crew out to dinner.
No race to win diecast tonight, but always next week. Oh, looks like Kevin Bridges was off there, able to gather it back in, and
Chase Fincher needs a splash. Oh, nice job, Kevin, there.
Yeah, driving like the Shriners doing their go-karts. Nice little crossover move. Perfectly choreographed. Good for both those drivers to make sure that stayed clean.
Totally. Final lap now. Is Kevin going to catch him? For 15th is the battle for 5th between Michael Odell and Jason Wahlberg. Michael Odell trying to figure out how to get by Jason. Something tells me they're smiling. These guys will still be coming to the white. Battle for 5th is going to get 1 extra lap. They go under the white flag of Barney. Oh, Wahlberg driving a very wide line. Michael Odell. He's not going to punt him. Oh, man, but Wahlberg's not making it easy on him. I'm sure they're smiling. Michael Odell is that kind of guy. Taking an alternate line once again to try and get a good run See if he can cross over. He can beat the feint into the hairpin. And he cross over. Well, there's one move from Wahlberg. Holds the braking line. Good racing. Michael Odell can't cross over yet. You go into the back section of the track. Side by side into 10. 11, the double left.
Jason Phillips coming through.
Brings it home.
Race.
First win of the season for Jason Phillips. He's going to be thrilled. Can't wait to talk to Chattanooga, Tennessee's Jason Phillips. John Daniels, Travis Rowe put on a great call to put dry tires on at their first pit stop. And that was the winning move. Michael Odell is not around Jason Wahlberg yet. This is for 5th. Got one more corner to make it happen.
Here's the move where it got done. A little glitchy there. We'll get back to live.
Can't do it.
Odell. Not able to do it. Did everything he could to try to stay in the draft. Try a different line.
P7 for Glickner. If he can make it, looks like he might be out of gas. Here's Zach Alexander, your AM division leader. Walker McNulty in 8th. Maybe he was just teasing me. Coasting to the finish. Justin Glickner, nobody else around.
Walker is making huge time up on him, but I think he'll be able to get over the line here.
Oh. Okay, Zach gets the win in the AM division.
Wall rides are legal here. No disqualification.
That's right. No fine. No safety fine assessed. Justin Thaler. I thought it was a good strategy too, JT. Nice try. P14.
Zach Alexander did not get Walker McNulty, but he did win the AM division. Finished about 12 seconds ultimately over Nicholas Calguru. So great run for Zach today. Saw a fair amount of attrition. Started in the wet. Had a couple cars start on the pit row. Some strong recovery drives, but the race really changed when the second pack of Jason Phillips, John Daniels, and Travis Rowe pulled in to switch onto the slick tires with the track still crossing over from wet to dry. Michael Odell and Chase Fincher choosing to stay out on the wet tires as long as they could. Didn't work out for him, had some other troubles as well. Michael Odell able to make it back up to 6th. Chase Fincher to 13th. What a race we saw tonight. The rain, love it or hate it, has brought great racing to this league. Go over the results here. Your winner, Jason Phillips, his first win of the season. Strong run for him. Finished 11 seconds up the road from John Daniels. That pack, that trio of the first 3, John Daniels, Travis Rowe, and Jason Phillips, were stuck together for the early part of the race. After the pit cycle, Jason Phillips was able to break free. By the time he was on the dries and the track was fully dry, he was picking off hot laps and pulled away. Jack Lucas, really great drive for 4th. Jason Wahlberg able to hold off Michael Odell, who was trying everything he could to get around him, for 5th and 6th. Justin Glickner, 7th. Walker McNulty able to climb back up to 8th. Zach Alexander wins your AM division. in ninth. Nicholas Calgary 10th after starting from the pit lane. So great drive from him to be able to get back up into the top 10. Francis Faustino 11th. Robert Snar 12th. Chase Fincher 13th. Justin Thaler 14th. He also stayed on the wets longer than some of the other drivers. Kevin Bridges 15th. Nice finish for him. That's your top 3 in AM. Zach Alexander, Nick Calgary, and Kevin Bridges. CJ Barsak 16th. Rick Bundren 17th. Pablo Araya 18th. Some of these cars had trouble, spent some time in the pits getting repairs. Justin Shoup, 19th. Steve Hansel, 20th, retiring from the race. Taylor Montague retired, as well as Aaron Mitchell, David Stark, Andrew Miller, Shea McNeely, and Kevin Mayer. Brian Sarton did not start, and we did not call the safety car out. So quite a race, a lot of action.
I think we saw a little bit of everything tonight. And I'm looking forward to hearing from our winners. Tonight's AM Division winner, Zach Alexander, number 93 Porsche. Hey, Zach, it's James and Adam in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, what a race. Congrats. I know you worked hard to get that AM Division win, man, and you did it tonight, man. How does it feel? Congrats.
I mean, that's pretty awesome, actually. Today's my birthday, so it's first time I've probably raced in about 3-4 weeks, but figured I'd want to jump on. I love Sebring. Did my first 12 hours, so it felt pretty good.
Well, happy birthday, man. Don't ask us to sing. My singing's terrible, but what was it like in the rain? That first 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so was a little bit hectic from our side. What did you see?
I mean, yeah, racing in the rain at first was absolutely terrifying for me. And then just this year, what was it, July, when I did the 24 hours of Spa, we had the 18 hours of rain session. And ever since, I've thoroughly enjoyed driving in the rain. So I actually felt like it gave me a leg up on this one. These guys are much faster than I am in the dry, and you could kind of see that as we got through the race. But you know, it's always a ton of fun, and everybody's so respectful coming through the turns that it makes it a lot better.
Great. Well, I know you joined us a little bit late this season. What do you think about Midwest Motorsports? And we're glad you're here.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute blast. I had some work stuff coming up, so I had to figure out my schedule, but it looks like I should be able to attend a bit more now. So hopefully I get a bit better and stay consistent.
All right. Well, you definitely put everybody on notice that Zach Alexander is here to race. And looking forward to having some more races with you, man. Congrats on a big points haul from Sebring.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be on some other time.
Yeah, and have a great rest of your birthday.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you.
That's your AM Division winner. Zach Alexander. Jason, not made it yet. Let's see. He did send me a direct message. And he says he's working on it. He's getting his Discord figured out. So we'll give him a second or two to get everything set up. I know it's a little bit of a technical issue coming through, but man, Adam, what a race. That was more than I expected to see with the rain at the beginning, and then pit strategy, when to change tires. I think that's what you said would be important tonight, and you did it. You were right. And I'm going to guess that Adam's mic is going out again. All good. I'll try to carry it through.
Sorry, I was on mute trying to figure out why the screen went black, but yeah, I did not expect the pit cycles with the wets and the slicks to be that exaggerated. You know, I think we've seen some big plays from Chase Fincher and Michael Odell before on strategy with wets and dries. Also with Walker McNulty, the first one to get on the dries. He's done that before. So we've seen some of those play out, but it can be a coin toss as to whether or not that works in your favor or not. The wets, as the track dried up, really started losing pace as to the field that was absolutely catching them with the dries. So by the time they pitted, they were neck and neck with the people that were behind them who had already stopped. So pretty incredible to see that play out that way. They were able to fight back, but not enough.
Not quite enough. And it didn't help that there was a little contact there. They both spun, lost about 5 or 6 seconds there. I think that might it might have helped a little bit. I mean, obviously 5 or 6 seconds worth. But definitely not the race I expected to see. They may have done their practice, didn't play out exactly as they thought, and who was there to take advantage? Third, fourth, and fifth. So third, fourth, and fifth takes the right choice, which we know is right after the fact. Of course, it's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback.
Sure.
But the three guys, Travis Rowe, John Daniels, and Jason Phillips, decided to take slicks, and that turned out to be the winning move of the race. And we have Jason Phillips in. Finally got our technical stuff sorted out. So Jason, man, what a move. Jason, welcome to the top step of the podium. Welcome back to your podium, man. Congrats.
Can you hear me now?
We got you, man. Loud and
Okay.
clear.
Okay. Oh man,
First win of the season.
I didn't even know tonight was an endurance race. We got through going through the second stop. I got done through the second stint, and I'm like, I don't have enough fuel. And I didn't realize tonight was an endurance race, and I got all discombobulated because I didn't know what happened to Odell and Chase.
Right. Oh man, amazing. Well, they ended up staying out on wet to that first stop. And
Okay.
we were about
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know what I thought when I pit. I thought my crew chief told me that Odell had changed tires to slicks, but I was battling, man. Me and Travis and
incredible.
John, man, during the wet, that was intense. I can't even believe I survived the wet. To me, it's still hard to do.
It looked very difficult. We were on board with a couple of different drivers and watching people counter steering and turning left, just trying to, I mean, in braking and on power, it seemed like you were really hanging on for those first 5 or 10 laps.
It felt more slick tonight. I mean, I did the 3 practices last night, and then today, for some reason, during the race, I don't know if it was because I had a car in front of me and I couldn't see, because I was blind. I mean, the whole time I was riding behind John, I finally kind of moved over and let Travis go by because I just couldn't see.
Yeah, incredible, man. Well, again, you've had a rough start to the season compared to last season, I guess, but you've hung in there. And yeah, again, your first win of the season. A couple of real good runs, last couple of races at Road America and Road Atlanta. So I think you might be back in this fight here, Jason.
Well, the first couple races we had the rain races, and those were new to me. Rain's still new to me, and we drove tracks I don't have a whole lot of experience at, so I'm still kind of learning on those tracks. And these last few weeks we're in a stretch I'm pretty familiar with all these tracks, so I may not be the fastest, but I feel like I can be more competitive than I've been at some of the other tracks. Still learning at some others.
That's right. Well, I think that's the last endurance race of the season, so you don't have to worry about getting that wrong or right anymore. We got a week off, and then we're going to Mount Panorama. Something tells me there's a possibility of some rain there. I'm not sure. So, and that's going to throw a curveball.
Yeah, I believe Mount Panorama will be a night race, so it will go into the dark there. I'm not sure that there's any weather expected, but it will be dark.
Well,
there might be some rain. Who knows?
I love that track, and I love it in the dark, but I don't know about the rain. The rain, that's a whole new element with that mountain.
Well, you conquered the rain tonight, Jason. Welcome back to the top step of the podium, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Midwest Motorsports. I mean, I'm glad this. I say it every time I get the chance to interview. This is a great community, great group of guys, great group of racers.
Yep. Well, you're a big part of it too, Jason. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
That's it. Sebring is complete. Put it in the history books. We'll take a week off, and then we'll go to Mount Panorama. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks to all the admins for making Midwest Motorsports the great league that it is. We appreciate everybody and can't do it without you. For Josh Watt running the stream, Adam Sondag, my co-partner here, and all your work on the cameras, Adam. Thanks a lot for everything. We will look for you in 2 weeks from Mount Panorama. Till then, I'm James J, reminding you to stay in your lane.